All right. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm Laura. We've had some technical difficulties, so welcome to Happily Ever After. And I'm so super excited today because today I have our photographer with us, Mr. Ryan. Now, Ryan, is it Witzel?
It's Wetzel. Hmm.
Wetzel. So that's why I wanted to make sure I pronounce your name correctly. And I have to say, it is such an honor and a privilege for you to be joining me today. Thank you so very much for your time.
Thank you for having me. It's an honor to be on here.
Yes, so I just wanted to talk just for a few minutes because Ryan served as our wedding photographer, and he was with us through the highs and lows of trying to figure out what we wanted as a couple in the wedding. And then when COVID hit, trying to rework everything that we did. So, first and foremost, Ryan, can you just tell us a little bit about your photography and what you love most about what you do so wonderfully?
Sure. So I started photography probably when I was a little kid. I just remember carrying around one of those Fisher blue plastic cameras with the film in it, and I can't believe my family actually, you know, trusted me to have actual film in it at that young age. But I just loved, putting my face up there and trying to capture, whatever I could as, 3 foot kid, um, so that kind of got me ambitious in photography, to be quite honest. And throughout high school, I picked up an old camera that my parents had, one of the old film cameras, an Olympus 010. And from there, I literally just fell in love with photography. Every picture, it just tells a million stories, right? Pictures worth 1,000 words. And from there, I mixed um, my interests and my passion in nature, and just started loving nature and wildlife photography, landscape photography. And that's probably my favorite thing to capture. It just shows God's creation, and I can really just tell that story through a lens, literally. I don't really have to say anything. I just have to take the picture and present it, and it speaks for itself. And I shot my first wedding probably when I was about 15, 16 years old,
Wow.
with a friend. And from there, I was like, you know what? I actually like taking pictures of people too. I didn't know that, I always didn't think I would ever like that. And, the stresses of wedding photography, you have to, be on your A game, 8 to 10 hours that day, right? But after I moved to Baltimore, I'm 31 years old. So when I moved to Baltimore about 5 years ago, I really started advertising for wedding photography and engagements and portraits and newborn photo shoots, stuff like that. And I have like a complete like other passion now. I love like portrait photography. So taking photos of people, it captures their memories, and I just love doing that for them. It's like just like that servant's heart. I love serving somebody else and like sharing my gifts that God gave me, and just being able to give that to somebody else, give them the joy, that smile, and that memory that will literally last a lifetime. So it's just a joy. I know you talked about some of the difficulties of photography, right? Especially with your wedding, and a couple of other folks' wedding that I had the pleasure of shooting for in the last year and a half. COVID-19, the pandemic, how difficult that was. Meeting with couples, I had to virtually meet with them. I can't. Luckily, I did get to meet with you guys one on one, so that was a blessing. Because you want to get to know your photographer. I think that's really important as a person, not just as an artist or a professional, but also as a person. You want to be on the same page with them, so you are, exactly what you're getting, and that again, you just want to be on the same page, which I think we were, and I think that was a blessing as well. It was awesome to be your photographer and to just capture everything that I was able to capture. Yeah.
And thank you so much, Ryan, for saying that because we had been to a wedding expo. We had met with
Mm.
another photographer that was very specific on what he wanted us to do. And he and David kind of clashed. I was like, David, it was kind of crazy. And so when we met you, I was like, this is this young kid, because Ryan, you look much younger than you
Right.
are. And I was just like, okay, I'm just going to keep an open mind. And what people don't know or may not know is you're also a park ranger.
Hmm.
So when you walked in to Panera Bread, I'm thinking to myself, what has my future husband, what is he thinking? And then you opened up your computer and the battery was dead. And
Yeah.
it just took a while to get it together. And then I started seeing your pictures and your creativity and how you captured, as you said, God's creation and just the sheer beauty of nature and how you capture that with marriage. And it's so interesting to say that you do weddings and births because those are some of the things that once God created the earth, those are other creations. He
Sure.
created us to be together, He created a new light. So you're capturing that. And I was just like blown away. Now, one of the things I got to tell everybody on the day of the wedding, everything everything had to be rescheduled. And one of the things, David and I redid everything and we sent you our new plan. And you were so nice. You emailed us back and you're like, you realize you don't really have enough time to do all the things that you needed to do. So we were able to because take some leadership from you and some feedback from you because when it was at the venue, everything was set, everything was planned, and then everything kind of blew up in our faces.
Sure.
So with other couples, did you have that kind of helping them like you helped us kind of reframe what was realistic in the time frame that we had?
Mhm. Yeah, always. Every single wedding is pretty. It kind of goes that way, even with a pandemic or without a pandemic. It always is like that. A wedding day. It's kind of like a cliche thing that I say. I think every wedding, I'm like, it's okay if you're late talking to the bride because this is your day. This isn't, I mean, it's both of your days, right? It's the couple's day. It's not the guest's day. It's not the hairdresser's day. It's not. I mean, yes, it's everyone's time, but it evolves around you, and everyone's coming together to witness the marriage, witness your vows, witness your ceremony, and just have fun in that. And so things are always something's gonna go awry. Something's gonna happen that's out of your control. I literally every wedding that this year I can go through and name something that wasn't planned. The last wedding I shot, it started raining right before the ceremony, so we had to take a 30-minute break and wait. This was last weekend actually. The wedding before that, I went to the groom's bridal suite, well, the groom's suite, and taking pictures of them getting ready, putting their ties on, their cufflinks on, having the best man help the groom put on, fix his collar, all those getting ready photos. And the one groomsman walks in and gets out his tuxedo, and as he pulls his tie out, it's a different color red than all the other guys. It's like a maroon. And I was like, oh no, like, I mean, I was like, well, and everyone kind of looks to me because if you don't have a wedding planner or you don't have a venue organizer or they're off doing something else, they always look to the next person, and the next person who has all the experience, I would say. And I say, well, you have two options here. Well, you have three options. Number one, leave it as is. It's not a big deal. It's funny. It's not. It's kind of it is what it is. Number two, you're gonna have to call the I think it was Men's Warehouse, whatever it was, and see if they can deliver it real quick. I mean, you have 2 hours for the ceremony. We have plenty of time. It's 30 minutes away. I think that would be doable, and which that was the option, and they were able to deliver it. It was great, But the third option, I was like, you could, you can go and give that tie to the groom, and so he has the different tie, so it looks like it was meant to be on purpose. So, and you got to just be quick on your feet as a photographer. So there's always going to be, adversity in anything in life, right? And it's just how you overcome that, how you actually approach that and meet it where it is, and talk people down or give help them in any way, no matter what it is. I try to keep my knife on me and bobby pins and pins, stuff like that, sewing kit. People don't realize it, but a photographer actually wears many hats, and you want to be there. I have tissues in my bag. I have a little bit of everything. A towel to help wipe if it's really hot out and they're sweating after the ceremony for photos. You start realizing these things as you get into it, into photography. You start realizing, oh, I should probably carry this with me, or this, and this. It's kind of funny, and people are always like, I can't believe you had that on you, or I can't believe you helped me with this, or flaring out the dress, or whatever it may be, right? Because a guy shouldn't really know how to flare out a dress or put on a boutonniere or whatever. Which side does the boutonniere actually go on, or the corsage? There's so many things, right? So many variables. So yeah, as a photographer, you don't just show up and take photos. You are a part of that couple's day and their lives. And that's really important, is to develop those relationships and help them out when need be, especially on their big day. So yeah, it's important for me to get to know the couple as well, so that we don't clash, which I feel like it's hard to do because I like to meet people where they are. But yeah, like I said, it's a photographer should wear many hats, and that's what I do when I show up to even just a meeting or to the wedding itself.
Well, I know that the day that we got married, things didn't go exactly according to plan. And I was like, Ryan!
Right.
And you stepped right in, and you take, the most interesting pictures of the most intimate things, like the shoes, the dress, the rings, the house. And one of my favorite pictures that you shot was when David was with his best man and the pastor in his room, and you must be standing on the bed, and you're taking a picture, and you're looking down on them. That's one of my favorite pictures. And we had a beautiful venue, but then we had to have a backdrop. We were in the backyard, but you made it look like this average backyard, nothing spectacular. But the way you shot your photos, you would think we were in the most elaborate venue in the world. And that's what made it so beautiful, because the venue we had was right on the lake, and the pictures were going to be absolutely gorgeous because of the surroundings. But that didn't happen for us, and we were just in our backyard. But the pictures that we have are so beautiful. And speaking of the pictures, let me see if I can share on my screen. I'm having some technical difficulties. Let's see if I can share my screen and pull this up. Okay, yes, share. See, this is, oops, let me minimize this so people can see. So this is just one of the pictures. We see David with his best man, and myself with my maid of honor. And that's just one picture of many that are just so gorgeous. And I didn't pull up that other picture, but it's, and I also like that you use black and white, you use color, you got pictures of my parents. You use different special effects, but the thing that I love the best was that you were like a bumblebee. I never saw you stand still, and we only have one or two pictures of you in the whole wedding. I didn't think about photographing you, and my father caught you. I'm like, yes, we have a picture of Ryan.
There you go.
So, and so I just wanted to share and to say thank you. And, I just also love your testimony and how we just automatically clicked, and how it's almost a year later and we're still keeping in touch. But as we close for today, my final words are having that photographer and having that person capture. Now, we didn't do the wedding video because it was just, that took another person, and we thought we were going to get whatever. But the nice thing is, knowing Ryan, knowing you, if I never need a photographer again, I'm calling you. So I know who to call. That's if you're still doing that. And he has the job, everybody, that I want when I retire, a park ranger. Yep. But I love that Ryan talked about God's creation, because each one of these episodes, I always like to make it sure that God is mentioned. And as my other guest, Ryan, you mentioned got. But are there any final words you want to leave with those who may be viewing this?
Sure. I think I just want to reiterate just living your life, treating others as you want to be treated, and just showing them as much grace and truth as our Father, shares with us. And that's with any facet of life, whether it be your main job, your second job, and your relationships, just anywhere. When you're just out at the supermarket, right, in line, just trying to remember that throughout each section of your day is really important, and you'll be blessed because of it.
Excellent. And then Ryan, if someone is interested in having a wonderful photographer, how can they reach you?
Sure. I can send them my contact info. I have my personal website is ryanwetzelphoto.com. They are more than welcome to Google just Ryan Wetzel photo, and you'll find my Facebook page, or you'll find my personal photo webpage. But it'll probably be one of the first things that pop up. You can text or call me at any time. Sure.
And could you spell your last name to make sure everyone who sees this knows exactly how to reach you if they're interested?
Of course. So first name Ryan, Ryan. Last name Wetzel, Wetz, Z as in zebra, EL, like Wetzel pretzels. And then it's photo, PHOTO. So ryanwetzelphoto.com.
Excellent. Well, Ryan, thank you so much today for taking time out to talk to me. And I apologize to everyone for the technical difficulties I had, but I think we, powered through. And you kind of remind me of my grandmother. She used to have everything in her purse, not saying that you have a purse, but that you're a person who's ready to take on anything that may happen and be a support to those who are experiencing a very special day. Thank you so much, Ryan. It's been my pleasure, my honor. And take care and enjoy.
You as well. Thank you so much. Bye, guys.
Okay. Bye-bye.